Barefoot Bruisers, what's happening, guys? Sitting on my dad's back porch. It's raining out here, but figured, hey, I got a few minutes. I wake up before everybody else. I don't know. Arizona, everybody wakes up like pretty much first light. Everybody's up. Here, it's like feels like mid-morning before people get up and get out. So it's weird. But yeah, so I've been up since like 6:15. I don't know. I don't know what time it is here now. I never even changed my phone. Arizona time doesn't change, so you don't automatically update when you put on Arizona time. So I always just keep it and add 3 hours. So it's way early in the morning in Arizona. But anyway, Lake show was cool as hell. Whole trip so far has been cool as hell. But honestly, like the flight and stuff like that took more out of me this year than a lot of other years. I guess the pressure of the cabin or whatever. But yeah, physically I've had a hard time this year, legs swelling up and stuff like that. But let's see, brief synopsis. I ran into Ken before I even seen anybody else. Ken and his wife or girlfriend rather. I ran into them, and that's the only time I saw him all day. Was like before we even got into the line at Blade Show. I saw Ken. The only time I saw him. I meant to give him a sticker. Well, I was going to give him a sticker, but he's like, I will do that later, thinking we'll see each other later, but never saw him again. And my Blade Show, you know, you always kind of hang with people during Blade Show, but before the show even started, Denise and I sitting down there BS, and she's so cool, man. Like, but she's such a supporter, not just me, but like everybody else in that community too. But like, so she bought a patch with my logo on it to put on a hat, grab me a hat. I'm just suck at self-promotion, so I didn't even wear it. But and then she bought Donnie Bless a bunch of patches so he could sell some patches at there. Just really cool. But anyway, I hung with her most of the day Friday and part of the day on Saturday. Sharif also, before the show started, came around and hang out. Cool to hang with him, like actually at the shows. The last time we hung out was at the airport on the way out. That was cool. Like, that's a lot of cool people. Shang, Stevie, Forrest, just tons of people I've met there. Like, but I didn't see a lot of people that know we're supposed to be at Blade Show. So to me, it seemed like the crowd was kind of down. But when I asked like certain other people, they were like, I don't know, it feels normal to me. But to me, it felt less people this year. Probably the economy, I guess. Maybe could possibly have been weather threatening and raining right now. And it wasn't raining at the show. It didn't rain either day, but like there was threats of rain. So maybe that kept locals. I don't know. Either way, like the Blade Show experience is always super fun. And for me, it was even, I guess, probably more the highlight. Like last year, I got to hang out with both my brothers at the show, which is super cool. But this year, both my brothers came again, and they brought their sons. So I got to hang out with both my brothers and both my nephews at the same time. And my youngest brother's son, my youngest nephew, was kind of looking at some of the cheaper knives and that sort of thing, but he didn't really seem. It's hard for me to judge like, well, how old they are, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I know how they are, bro. I'm guessing 10, 12. I think 12 is what he said he was. It's hard for me to judge the interest of a 12-year-old because I don't have anything to relate to. I don't have any kids. I'm not around my nephews or my nieces at all, so it's just hard for me to judge like the interest level. But he didn't seem super interested in knives. He was more into the fun stuff, like just the aspect of like karambits or those funky knives with all the serrations, or, you know, gas station style stuff. The stuff that kind of brought us into knives years ago. I'd fully planned on buying him something, but I don't think he left with anything. We kind of got separated, then hooked back up. Long story. But my other nephew, the little older one, I said little, but he's way taller than the rest of us. Tallest one in our family, actually. He was really into looking at swords and other kind of stuff. And, you know, after talking with him, he knew a lot of the history of swordsmen. He got a cold steel broadsword or long sword or something. I don't remember what it was called. Long sword, I think is what it was. he had a blast with that. So his dad let him buy it, which I thought was cool as hell. His mom wasn't so sure when she saw it, but you know, he'd already had it at that point, which I thought was fun. But anyway, my brothers and one of my nephews had to go to another store, so I came home with the nephew who bought the sword. And me being the uncle I am, I'd rather ask for, you know, forgiveness than permission. We stopped and got some watermelon so we could have some fun with it. So when I end this video, I'm gonna show my nephew, and you can hear my thoughts on it, like chopping up the watermelon in the back of my dad's yard here. It was fun as hell. We had a good time. And that was pretty much the highlight of the show, was hanging out with my brothers and nephews. I don't get family time that much, and be able to have family time at Blade Show was super cool. Super cool that they're kind of have some interest in knives and stuff. So I'm hoping my young nephew will kind of show more interest. I don't know his responsibility level. I hadn't really talked to his dad about buying him something, so I was gonna buy him something, but I don't know, man. I better talk to my brother first before I go buy him something that he can't even have. But probably next year, I would say. He's almost there, but next year for sure. But yeah, we had a ton of fun. Oh yeah, after the watermelon incident, like I said, I'll put it on the end of this video. After that watermelon thing, my wife opened her mouth and she was like, "I bet you can't cut a strawberry with that thing." So he's like, "How much?" She was like, $200. The kid put the watermelon on the stick, sliced it right in half. So he earned $200 from us, which is fine with a good bad influences on the nieces and nephews. Anyhow, it's fun. Knife wise, I didn't buy much. The Cold Steel 8010 that I got, the 3V one, the one I sold, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, whatever it was. It didn't seem like it was that long ago. Yeah, I bought another one of those. I'm an idiot, but I saw an all black one. So as we're going in the show, y'all don't care if we ramble, so I'm just gonna ramble a little. As we're going in the show, Denise was interested in the Microtech show special and the Heretic show special. We both got the early birds, but we didn't want to stand in line 2 hours in the heat, just get in there 5 minutes earlier. So we just basically sat and watched the line go down, and we just jumped in the tail end of it with our early birds. So we were the last of the early birds to get in. So I don't know. It might have took 10 minutes for everybody in that line to get through, because it moves pretty quick, but I don't even think it was that long. So we were in there, let's just say 15 minutes after the doors open, and that line for Microtech was down the aisle and up the next aisle. So no way in hell you're getting a show special. And we walked over to the Heretic booth, and they're pretty much, you had to go to a certain corner, but she had to go from where we were at, and I found out she had to go around the booth to where she needed to be. And I'm staring at the Cold Steel booth, and I see the 8010 sitting there, and it's all black, and I was just going to look at it, but I saw the price, and I was like, what, for real? So I paid $240 for a brand new all DLC 8010. I bought the last two for like $250. So I'm like, it's $10 less and it's all black. I was like, I'm a sucker. So I just bought it. Like, will I use it? Will I do anything? I don't know. Halfway thought about trying to sell it. Halfway thought about giving it to one of my brothers. Like, I'm not a production guy. Somehow I ended up with a production knife. I don't know. The other production knife that I thought I was going to look at and thought I was going to like was the Dixon. I did like it. It's thin for me, so I held off. I wanted to support McNeese so bad, but I just know that knife in particular would not get a lot of carry from me. I like the knife, but it would be a 2-3 month of playing with it, and then I'd probably turn around and selling it. So I saved myself the second production knife on that one. Let's see other experiences here. Of course, you got to hang out with Donnie and see all his knives. They were cool as shit. Got me a shirt from Donnie. The second day I was coming back, I was actually going to buy a Ripley, and right when I got to his, that was like one of the first booths I visited on day 2. Right before I got there, or right after I got there, someone had just, right before I got there, sorry, I'll get there in a second. Mine's still a little fried. Someone had bought it, so good. I was going to buy it, and then I was going to like, yeah, we'll do something in the future kind of thing. And we talked about doing collabs. Hopefully we'll get one done this year. We'll see, I guess. But I think Donnie sold everything but the lefty when I left yesterday, so good for him. Congratulations to Donnie. Like, he deserved it. Friday was slow starting, like for Donnie at least. Like, I think, I can't remember. Yeah, he sold one the last time I talked to him on Friday, and then by Saturday, by the time I got back around there, I went a little later on Saturday morning because of health stuff. I just wanted to stay off my feet a little longer. Anyhow, congratulations to Donnie. Hung out with Sharif there at his booth for a little bit. He sounded like he was doing pretty good. I went to Old Dominion, and like Rick and I were both kind of interested in some of the same similar stuff. But when I got to Old Dominion, he seems to be doing a lot more of the Damascus and fancier stuff. It didn't have a whole lot of plain stuff like in the stuff I was interested. I got to handle a Hawkbill that some of you guys own. I did like the Hawkbill a lot, but I told Casey, I said, dude, you need to make a 4-inch. So hopefully in the future they make a 4-inch Hawkbill. 4-inch Hawkbill would be sick. The 3.5 is just a little bit small for my taste. It's cool blade, just a little bit on the small side. And And he was like, hey, but how about a 5-inch? So I was like, hell yeah, bring on a 5-inch. So maybe we'll see a 5-inch too. I don't know. But he's similar. Casey, I talked to Casey for a little bit there, and he got similar carry taste to me. He likes the big, heavy stuff. So although he did say he's starting to make some small stuff for the more normies. Let's see, after Casey. So Rich Made, I don't know if you ever guys heard of Rich Made or not. Steve and I was talking about him because he sells at Blade Show and then online. And I don't know how many knives he makes throughout the year, but he basically builds for Blade Show and then sells them at Blade Show. And they look funky. And I've never really been a huge fan, look-wise and stuff like that. And then something clicked on me about, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, and I started looking at them going, those are kind of cool. The one thing I'll have to say about him and his style is you can't judge the knife by how it looks. You have to put it in your hand. They all feel differently. So I don't think that would be one I'd recommend buying online. That'd be one that you'd have to almost go to a show or go to see a bunch of them in a row, because I like a lot, one of them, two of them, a lot. Kind of how I do it is Friday is more like scouting. And if it's something really clicks on me Friday, I'll buy it. But other than that, like Saturday's the buy day for me. I go back Saturday after I've kind of slept on it, kind of thought about it, and go back and get one. So I went back Saturday to look at the one that I really, really liked. There was another dude sitting in center of the booth, and I saw one around the other side of him. So basically 3 people could stand in front of their table more or less comfortably. So I was on the right-hand side handling a nice BS in with the dudes. The dude in the middle just looked like a tire kicker to me. And it's kind of going through and picking them up, not really even, you could tell people who are really into knives how they handle knives differently. He was kind of like two-handing it, not really like playing with action, but just kind of more or less looking at the thing. So I thought for sure just a tire kicker that was looking. Stops on the knife that I was like, as soon as this dude moves, I'm probably going to get this knife. I'm going to handle it one more time, make a decision if I'm buying or not. But yeah, he bought it right there. I was like, all right, cool. Like, that solves that issue. Like I said, that's not meant to be. And the other 4 that he had there that I was kind of sort of considering just didn't feel the same as that one to me. So like I passed because I knew ultimately I would have been happier with the other one. So I'll wait maybe next year, maybe the year after. We'll see. Eventually I probably will have one of those if the style still suits me, kind of thing. I did notice as I'm starting to make more that a lot of the little details that as a collector or just a user, when you see those, don't appeal to you as much. Like you're kind of like, I would do that differently, or whatever. Like it was just interesting in that way. So anyway, that saved me from not buying a Rich Made, and obviously I talked about Old Dominion. Who else was a consideration there? As far as buying custom stuff goes, I pretty much spent all day Friday in just the custom section. I didn't really hit any of the production other than that cold steel booth that I was talking about before. I kind of sort of mentioned it to you guys, but I didn't really. But Dario Derek Steele had put in a post up something about his last bit of stock of 3V and what he should do with it. So I immediately messaged him and I said, man, a Toucan 2XL and 3V would be ideal. And that's all I told him. I didn't tell him anything else, but I've already dealt with Dario a little bit, so he kind of knew my style. And that's what he built. So tell me that ain't 100% my style. Like stonewash, 3V, blasted and stonewash tie. Like, he nailed it. Perfect. So if you haven't seen this knife before, I'll show a better view of it later. But Toucan 2XL, this is my one and only really custom purchase that I did this year at Blade Show. I love the freaking knife. It's definitely a nice chunky guy. And it scales a contour too, so it's hard to see. But yeah, awesome. Like when I get back, I'll do a better shot of it. But I got the Toucan 2XL from Dario at Derek Steel. So that's my pretty much only purchase. Day 2, even leaving here, I told my wife, I don't think I'm going to buy anything. She was like, yeah, right. But I didn't. I legitimately didn't buy anything. It wasn't nothing like trying to stay focused on custom and big and overbuilt stuff. There's really nothing that was screaming at me, I need to go home with it. I did think about the Old Dominion a little bit. I was like, this is just too fancy for me. And like some of the stuff that I almost liked, it was like it would have like Timascus collars and clip on it. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna blast that away. So why spend an extra $300-400 on fancy shit if I'm just gonna blast it? It doesn't make sense to me. But I enjoyed the show. I had a great time. As it is right now, Sunday morning, it's gonna be more. Today, at least, it's gonna be more family time. And then tomorrow evening, I got some friends that I grew up in this general area, so I got some friends I'm gonna hopefully have dinner with and hang out with tomorrow night, and then probably more family on Tuesday, and then fly back. So just the quick, like, it's for me quick, I guess, update on the whole family or the whole show experience. But I'm sure I forgot to mention a ton of people I got to hang out with. It seems like Shane's going to be doing really good. He's a networking fool. Like, oops, sorry, didn't mean to drop the phone on y'all. Handheld, obviously. But yeah, Shane's doing good for himself. He's going to be really. He told me a couple of experiences he had, and like, he had a good blade show. I'm super proud of him, the work he's done and the efforts he put in. Like, you could tell, like, he's coming alive. He's going to be a maker pretty soon. Like, I mean, a one to watch pretty soon. But anyway, I'm gonna call it there. Like I said, I'm gonna try to edit my nephew slicing that watermelon in a second here. So y'all watch it. It's pretty fun. All right, y'all be cool. Later.
Ready?
Yeah, sure. Oh, that was a clean cut, dude. Oh, that thing's badass. Look at that shit, dude. Hell yeah, dude.